with me if you want to live. You just don't turn it off!
10 years after a worldwide series of ape revolutions and a brutal nuclear war among humans, Caesar must protect survivors of both species from an insidious human cult and a militant ape faction alike. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. My name is Jason, and today we'll be going through War for the Planet of the Apes, the final movie in the original series. Now, I know there was a TV series after this, but we didn't get another Planet of the Apes film until the remake for about 30 years after this one. So this is the final of the original 5. I got to be honest, it is a film that I do have a soft spot for. I really do. I mean, when I first watched this, I really enjoyed it. I know, even though, you know, it's a low budget, they cut the budget right out of this movie. It clearly has got a lot jammed into it at once, but there are some emotional beats in this film that just really got me, and they really pulled on my heartstrings a bit. I definitely got invested in Caesar and his family and what was going on, everything. You know, carrying over from Conquest. And you can see where Matt Reeves, where with Dawn and War of the Apes, you know, this movie, War at the Planet of the Apes, is basically those two movies. You know, you see where Matt Reeves was drawing from this movie, but obviously his were executed on such a high level. But you can see where he took all the great stuff in that movie and inserted it into his modern trilogy. So War for the Planet of the Apes was released in 1973, directed again by J. Lee Thompson, and starring Roddy McDowall, Claude Atkins, Natalie Trundy, and Austin Stoker. War of the Apes takes place many, many years later, where we find apes and humans coexisting with each other, or trying to coexist with each other, and we have Caesar leading this. And he's trying, you know, to keep the peace between apes and humans, try to get everyone working together, which is a hardship in itself. And Caesar has a family now, with his son being Cornelius, who is an interesting little character, but he thinks the world of his father. He absolutely, you really buy this relationship and the themes of family in this movie and protecting your family, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. And we find Caesar kind of questioning himself how he should lead this group. You know, he's really reminiscing about how he never knew his parents. They try to find the old videotape that they had at the detention center from the last movie of the recordings of Zero, the recordings of Cornelius. So that's what kind of gets the ball rolling. And we learn that there's the radiation people are back, who in Beneath can talk telepathically, and they're completely scarred and everything like that. And this one, you just see the beginning stages of it. And again, who's going to dominate this planet? It's going to be the humans. Is it going to be the apes? And this is how this little, I call it a scrimmage, but they call it a war. This little war starts. And meanwhile, we got a crazed gorilla, Aldo. You know, the gorilla is all about the military protecting apes, you know, just warlike. And you got him pushing against Caesar all the time, just pushing and pushing and pushing, where he wants to take control of Caesar. He doesn't agree with what Caesar's doing by coexisting with the humans. We have to kill the humans before they kill us, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
We want guns.
Now, I do like the performances. Again, Roddy McDowall, I think, is fantastic. Again, as Caesar. We get Austin Stoker, who's McDonald, and he's basically the good side of humanity, always trying to do the right thing. We got Aldo, the leader of the military, the ape military. And, you know, he just wants to take control because he does not like humans, wants to kill all humans. So you got Caesar trying to protect his people from Aldo and these, you know, the humans of the planet. And it ends up this becoming a mutiny. And where the story takes another little dark turn, Aldo ends up killing Caesar's son. And this is where we get the emotional beat of this movie. Though this is where I get a real soft spot for this movie. Is that, you know, while his child is dying and everything, he was talking earlier about being malformed, like the people with the radiation are all malformed. And he's like, because the kid's pretty much paralyzed and he's dying, and he's just like, you know, am I malformed, Dad? And when Caesar just goes, no, one day you will be as tall as a king. And I just love that. While that kid is dying, while he's going to pass into the other world, whatever you have it, he tells his son, you're going to be as tall as a king. Don't worry, son. You're going to be okay. And it gave me chill bumps, man. I was just invested in their relationship. I absolutely just loved it. And that's one of the reasons I really love this movie, for all its faults. Aldo being one of those faults. He is not a great villain. I mean, Aldo just keeps repeating lines over and over again. Like they couldn't give this villain anything more to say. He keeps going, guns are power. We need power. Guns are power. We need guns. We get power. All this kind of stuff. And it's just like, man, you could have done more with the villain. That's what makes Koba so good in the new trilogy, is that he's a lot more fleshed out. Now, I get it. They crammed a lot in one movie here. I'm not too big on the Aldo character, but we find there's good and bad in each one of these races. There's the good humans, the bad humans. There's the bad apes, the controlling, dominating apes, and there's the good apes. And Caesar trying to go through all of this and trying to organize this and trying to get people to work together and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, this movie has a TV budget and a low TV budget, it looks like. Some of the makeup on some of the apes looks great. Although I don't think it looks great. Like a lot of the gorillas, it does look like they're just wearing a mask. There's a sheen and a shine to all of them. They all look generically the same. And I'm assuming that has to do with the budget. The war at the end, like I said, I made fun of, it's more like a scrimmage. They come in with some tanks and buses. They're blowing shit up and everything like that. I mean, the movie, if you would have given this movie its budget it needed, it suffers from the budget. It could have been real. This third act could have been something, man. It could have been really something, because you have this little war kind of going on, but it's almost like a little scrimmage, and the apes are trying to fight back. They had to use a lot of close-up shots and everything. You couldn't really see the size because there wasn't much size to everything. I really like the tactic where the apes are faking that they're all dead, and when the humans come in, they take them all over. Take them as prisoners and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And where Caesar's like, now fight like apes. I really like that. It's really cool. You get this final confrontation between Caesar and Aldo at the end, where it's like saying apes don't kill apes. And they keep repeating it over. Ape killed ape. Ape killed ape. Ape killed ape.
Was cut with a sword.
They have that confrontation. They don't look at Aldo as one of them anymore, because he broke their biggest sacred rule, is that ape does not kill another ape. You could have a really good time with this one. Like I say, I have a real soft spot for this film, and the emotional beats really grabbed me for it. That's where I'm kind of invested. I'm invested with Roddy McDowall's character of Caesar because of Conquest, so that movie really carries over into this one. It's the same director, J. Lee Thompson. So this story is told from the future, like 800 years into the ape society, where apes and man are still coexisting. They're still living together. From the original Planet of the Apes film, though, that doesn't happen. But at this point in time, they're saying that's all because of what Caesar did. And then you see the statue of Caesar and you see a tear come out of his eye. Pretty good ending and everything, but you often wonder, like, there was more to tell here. Like, what happened where the humans went mute? What happened? Why did humans go mute? Why did they stop coexisting with each other? Why were they treated like, just animals, just wild beasts? So I think there was a lot more to tell if they wanted to, but when you keep cutting budgets down, you just can't tell it. I know there is a TV series, but I've never seen the TV series yet. I do like this movie. I recommend you all see it. I recommend you all see, every one in the original series. I'm going to give War for the Planet of the Apes a C+. But what about you guys? Let me know in the comments below. Let's have a great discussion about War of the Apes and the rest of the reviews I've done. Whatever you want to talk about in the comments regarding Planet of the Apes. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, share, comment below, all that kind of stuff. Stay for the end card for more related content. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. I will see you next time, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.